Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm going to be checking out the UAV Lipo Killer. Now I am so glad that this thing exists. I know you could technically make one yourself, but I have got so many Lipos about that should not be here, and this is one of them. It is a Tattoo R-Line 6S battery, and it didn't sustain a crash, but for whatever reason, I think I stored it at 4 volts, which is probably a little bit high, but never seen that completely damage a cell to 0 volts. But as you will see, this cell here is at 0 volts. There you go, Luke. Cell number 1 showing as 0 and all the others showing at 4 volts, and we are at 6S. So this is what you get in the package, but they also give you a mounting bracket as well. And I'm not sure how you would use this. Maybe you've got a workbench and you want to install it permanently, but for me, I'm going to be doing this in the greenhouse because it is outside and it's the only thing that will not catch fire if there is a problem. But yeah, they give you that. Anyways, the way that it works is we've got 6 LEDs here and we've got a balance connector. However, this is not how you get it to 0 volts. We've got various different options that we can set it at. So if I take my LiPo, you can see we have got the G there for ground, and then it goes up to a 6S. Now the instructions say don't plug it in the wrong way, and I tried it and nothing happened. But yeah, I would take their advice and make sure that you get it right. So we've got some very bright LEDs there, and it should only show 5, which it is doing because we know we've got a dead cell there. And then we've got this button here, and this lets you discharge in increments. So it's at 3 volts there, and if I press the button, it will go to 3.2, and then we've got 3.4, and then 3.6, and then 3.8. so if you want to storage charge you can, and then 4 volts if you would want to do that. And I would expect actually maybe, yeah, can you see one of those LEDs go out because it was showing 4 volts on the charger? So yeah, there's another one gone out as well, so it's discharged it to 4 volts already. There's quite a lot of heat coming off that, but obviously, if you've got it on that setting, it's not going to discharge it any more than that. But yeah, a little bit confused on this one. I mean, maybe they will say that you can plug in a 1S here and send it down to 3 volts, and that's enough for you to be able to chuck it in a bin and it not cause a problem. But the only way to get it to 0 volts is plug it into the XT60 connector, and we get an LED there. So if you have, say, a 1 cell or a XT30, you would have to make an adapter up to get everything to 0 volts, but that's not too difficult really. So I'm not sure I would use this because my charger has got a storage charge setting, and I wouldn't want to get the wrong setting either. But anyways, yes, I'm going to leave this plugged in. They say I think 24 hours, then it should read 0 volts. So yeah, let's see what happens with this guy. So some of you might have heard me say greenhouse and think that's not safe at all, but we have a concrete floor in the greenhouse and nothing in it, so if there is any issues with a fire or heat or anything like that, then it is contained. So just a quick update, it is around 12 hours later and the battery is now showing 4.5 volts. What is interesting is every single cell is showing as 0, so I imagine that there is just some residual voltage in each one of these cells and it's accumulating to 4.7 volts, even though it's not registering here on the charger. So I think it's going to need a little bit longer until it reads 0 volts. What's also interesting is that if I plug the balance plug into this battery tester here, there is not enough power to even power it up. However, if I plug the XT60 into the Lipo Killer, you can see we still have got a light on. So yeah, it's going to take some time to kill these lipos, but it is the safest way. So this guy has been connected to the Lipo Killer for a day and a half now, and what I want to do before I check the voltage of it is we have a 6S battery here, and I've got my Fluke multimeter, and I'm just going to test the voltage of this to show that it is showing a figure. I have to be careful so we don't get a fire, but you can see there 23.85 volts. This guy needs storage charging actually. So let's disconnect this guy now and check out what it is outputting. So we have got the positive there, and then the ground, and if we take a look, 0 volts. So yeah, it has completely killed this battery. Now I think a question that I'm going to get a lot is, are these through pads here for soldering your own connector up and it will discharge it through that way? And I think the answer is no, because when I plug a fully charged battery into here and then check the voltage of these, then it reads something like 0.5, and also there's no labeling, so plus or minus, and then if you follow the traces, one of them goes to this chip here. So I think that maybe it is for programming the chip rather than adding your own connector. So you're going to have to make up your own connector if you are trying to discharge a battery that doesn't have an XT60, but I think that is an easy thing to do. So if you want some lipos to kill, then I will put a link in the description, because it works. It does take a long time for it to kill them, but you know, if you buy a few of them, then that won't be a problem, and they are pretty cheap as well. So as always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.